Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Alex Dworkin, and I'm a managing partner of 40 Capital. Today is June 25th, 2025, and we're going to be looking at Morgan Stanley today. Now, if you're not familiar with our work, we specialize in very unique mathematical approach to the stock market, where we look at the stock market and calculate the stock market in three-dimensional space. And we also involved in analyzing the stock market using a number of different and quite unique timing tools that we've developed over the years. So when we combine this time and price variables into a singular forecast, we can very often make very extremely accurate forecasts, not only for the overall market, but for individual stocks, currencies, commodities, etc. I personally believe our work is nearly identical to what Jim Simmons was able to accomplish at Renaissance Technologies, if you're familiar with Jim. And I can talk about it for days. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to include a link to our work. And if you so wish, you can click on it in the description of this video and follow that path and learn more about our work, our calculations, see proof, so on and so forth. So as I mentioned, we're going to be looking at one of our weekly stocks, one of our mega cap stocks for this week, which is Morgan Stanley. And it's an interesting composition. There's not much to say about it, so today's video is going to be relatively short. But basically, what you're looking at the tops and bottoms of the chart. I'm assuming you're not familiar with our work, so I'm just going to mention it briefly. Is not cycle clusters, but composites. So what we found in our work throughout the years is that for most stocks and most indices, we have so-called uh, composites running in the market, and any given market will typically have a multiple up and down composites, and the up composites are typically responsible for market tops, and bottom composites are typically responsible for the bottoms. So you kind of have to know how they work and put them all together in order to ascertain exactly where we are in terms of the composite cycles. And then on top of that, we overlay time variables. What you see lines here are cycle clusters. And once again, what we found over the years during our research is that there are many cycles running in the market at any given time or in an individual stock. And what our software does, it scans the chart, it identifies those cycles, and then it projects them in the future. But what we found in the future is that it's not the turning points of importance, whether it's short term or long term, they don't occur at singular cyclical points. What typically happens is those turns occur where multiple cycles arrive at any given time. So, for example, if we have 4 or 5 major cycles arriving on June 25th, then there's a very high probability that there's going to be a turning point as opposed to just one single cycle arriving on the same date. So let me go back to the chart here very quickly. So basically what you're seeing here is that Morgan Stanley is increasing into this mid-cycle top. We can break these cycles down even further, but these are the important ones, the long-term ones. And actually, our calculations for the top are a little bit all over the place. Some stocks are very clear, but in this particular situation, Morgan Stanley is not very clear in terms of its top, because some indicators suggest, and I would agree, that we already seen the top here in, I believe it was early February, but it's a little bit outside the margin of error associated with this turning point. But that's why we are witnessing currently a double top formation. And this particular line on the chart is very important, also represents a very important time cycles, or those clusters that I just talked about here in a second. And it is lining up with this mid-cycle top. And in terms of time, we will likely see either a double top formation or some sort of a variance where Morgan Stanley maybe goes a little bit higher, maybe doesn't reach the double top formation quite a bit. But overall, we'll see the secondary peak here, and then the beginning of the decline. So essentially, what our work shows is that it's going to top here, which is around Um, it says August. We have this particular cycle arrives in July. We have a specific date for that. And then subsequently, we see a bottom, a major cycle bottom here. You see how well they performed in the past. We had the 2009 bottom. This one didn't really fire off, but this one did. So this one arrives in March of 2026, according to our calculations or according to our cycle breakdowns. This is important, and this is important for a number of reasons, but the primary reason here is a short period of time between a major top and a major bottom. So those who follow our work or subscribe to our work essentially know what that means is that this stock will be a fast mover. It will be a fast mover. A powerful move will take place between a major cycle top and a major cycle bottom. That's when typically crashes occur, or if we're dealing with the flip side, the stock appreciates at many multiples to what it is today. So this is a very dangerous situation for Morgan Stanley. Another point I wanted to mention is that typically the stock follows the trajectory of the overall stock market, particularly when it comes to the time turning points. So everything is essentially lining up for the top or the double top formation very, very soon, and then a significant decline into this bottom in March of 2026. Now, the question becomes how much of a decline we're talking about. And it's a little bit difficult question to answer at this juncture because this secondary top hasn't been confirmed yet. So we're either dealing with this top or the secondary top. Most likely, this top will not be overcome by Morgan Stanley over the next couple of weeks or before the market top occurs, and then it's going to decline. Now, when we see structures such as this, it typically means that it's going to break below this level, break below this mid level, and hit um, into this area right here. So that's a significant decline for Morgan Stanley over the next couple of months, because once again, remember that fast move is supposed to complete by second quarter of next year. There's some open gaps here that remain here, here, here. So it is also pointing into this area. Once again, this is going to be, that means that if everything fires off as anticipated in Morgan Stanley tops here and collapses into that major type cycle bottom, it's going to decrease in excess of 50%. And this is also something that we see in the rest of the financial stocks. We did Chase a little while ago, and it was a very similar forecast. So this is a very interesting proposition from a trading perspective. We actually currently setting up a trading play for it, and yeah, so it's going to be a fast move down, at least according to our time and price calculations. We do have more exact time and price targets as well as trading parameters set up for this. If you would be interested in checking it out, please once again click on the link in the description of the video. We do have a free trial associated with our work. You can come in and take a look at all of those numbers as well as many other very profitable opportunities that we believe we have. And that's pretty much it for today. Thank you very much for your time. We'll be back with another update, most likely a targeting analysis for one of the stocks that we're looking at, um, well, tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.